position for Thunder, who are the ones making the
Alright,
shot here. They're
Assalamualaikum
making the call.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I know this was like one of our most stressful games.
Kali ini gue pingin
sure.
nontonin
Like, I think everyone was stressed out of their
TI
mind.
Nobar ya.
I kept dying in a
Bar
very
TI Dota
silly
2
way
ya.
in fights because I never had a
Ini dari
guy next to me to infest. I
game
was
ya
like,
nanti.
I mean, I'm dying every fight. My goal is not going up. I'm probably like the
Aduh,
bottom net
kebelet
for
BSR
every
lagi gue
core.
anjir.
Like, we're not winning this game. Like,
They do not have the buybacks, but they do have an Aegis. They have this overwhelming advantage for the next team fight.
Lebih enak sih sekarang ya. Tapi nggak full ya, nggak full layar ya.
They're trying to deal with this ward, and ends up getting a freebie. Now it's a 4 versus 5, 4 versus 6 with the Aegis.
everything had to go right. Even like the second to last fight in our base when they pushed, like I die without buyback, yeah, and a guy dies, and I get assist gold to get my buyback back, and that's the only reason we're actually still in the pushing the base.
And that is going to be enough to be able to finish off a top of that, but he doesn't have the buyback. Foxy, he's going in. Sign, the second lifer, get back to the fountain, the Havoc Hammer, pushing him away. Running him down, the Bloodstone gets on. Rampage kill, Rampage on the mid stage, but because Matubamik got the buyback, he's going to die once. Nobody else, it's just Dark Mongo. It's just because a 2-on-2. Chisania now joining in with them. Dark Mongo's going to try and deal with him where he can. The freezing field going out with the Suns. The bashes doing so much damage with Matubamik with the bashes, making it 12. One fall, the other to follow. No buybacks. Team Liquid, they hold again.
It never felt like we were fully out of it, even though maybe the numbers and statistics all said we should have been. And then, you know, at the end of the game, it comes down to literally 1 HP. I think if Mickey dies and Matu is like, Infest doesn't save him, then probably game over.
This is a hard fight. You have to pick your jump well. You have to hit these scores.
Now Sacred goes for it. Immediately the Black Hole, they're just going to focus all in onto Mickey, and it looks like Mickey. Down to all over the side. Swatch will go over the Rolling Thunder on through them. Mickey surviving through it, and now the Marcy dies, and now they get the shot on the Sacred. Now he's dead. 12 seconds. How much can you get in 12 seconds, Liquid? Can you claim top 4?
Kita AFK dulu bentar ya.
Not gonna happen. The throats not dying fast enough.
Dark Mongo's up there too.
Kill them.
Gua mau AFK dulu bentar.
Buybacks. Now the comeback. Straight for your life. Don't die fast. What doesn't help? Trying to finish up to the end.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
I think it's Archie's who said this at, I think it was Arlington Major. He said, God giveth and God taketh. And yesterday, God giveth.
During the 7 years, that has not happened to me. Even winning TI7 when the last round died, it didn't feel the same. It's just the build-up wasn't there for it. But this time, it really, like hitting top 4 like this, damn, that was the best thing ever happened to me.
Oh, if we only get like one game that lives up to that hype, I'm gonna be happy, and I think the players will be happy with that too. That was insane to watch. Also, it hasn't happened to Matu yet, even though he won TI. I think it's very cool that there's been 3 Mega Creep comebacks ever at TI. Zai has been in every single one of them. That's pretty impressive. And we got to talk a little bit about the Dota as well, because of course we've had a lot of Dota played. We had a lot of heroes picked. There's been 114 heroes picked so far. And that means that there's a couple that are not picked.
Yeah, 8 specifically have not been picked. 219 games. And Purge and I are here to tell you why you're probably not going to see the other 8. Purge, let's get started, my friends. Okay. It's been a lot of Dota, but there's a couple of rejects here. Tell me about Clinks.
Clinks, vulnerable early game. His team fight's weaker than a lot of other carries. He's just not as good ultra late as a lot of other choices.
He's garbage. Get out of here. Wind Ranger.
Farm's mediocre. Not very many people like her. She needs BKB to team fight. She's really bad versus Leshrac. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things that sum up to garbage. Boom. Bounty Hunter.
No stuns, no team fight. Like a third as good as a Marcy on your team. Why would you pick Bounty Hunter?
Why would you pick him? Garbage. Get out of here. Get out of here. DK.
Dragonite, let's see, he's survivable, but like he's so much worse than all the other good offlaners. Enigma, Primal Beast, Marcy, Brood, Beast, Matt, should I keep playing?
No, you shouldn't. All I need to hear is garbage. Boom. Treant Protector.
Teams are farming a lot right now, so like tower push defense timings aren't as important, and he's not even that good at it anymore. The heal comes out slower.
Oh, yeah, I'm not on board. He's garbage. Boom. Coddle.
Weak at laning, not good at ganking, tries way too hard to be cool. Les doesn't even need mana anymore. He's got Bloodstone as his friend, so why do you need to coddle?
Get him out of here. He's garbage. Boo. Techies.
Decent lane, good damage, but he doesn't have any stuns. His ulti is very counterable. There's just better heroes than Techies.
There's a lot of them. I'm really going to enjoy this one because he's garbage. He's garbage. He's...
Oh, wait. I got it.
Get him, Purge. Get him, Purge. Get him, Purge.
You need this for your own good. You'll get buffed after. Oh, wait, there's one hero left.
Oh, there is. Why are you even here? Nobody likes you. I might think that you're one of the worst things to ever happen to Dota. There is nothing that you are good at. Also, Meepo was uncontested.
That was brutal. Neil, it made me really sad, and then I got a chuckle, and I feel a little guilty about it, but here we are. We are also here with the first series coming your way very soon. Of course, Liquid is going to face Aster. It's their only elimination series of today, and I want to make sure that people watching that are tuning in, maybe only for finals weekend, just a recap. What type of Dota do these two teams play? You want to start off with Liquid, Jenkins?
Yeah, Liquid. I mean, they're. It's not like a team you can call like, you know, this is like an aggressive team. They play aggressive or defensive, whatever is needed. Like all around, they play good Dota. But one of the most important things about this team that I think makes them unique is the fact that they don't really play roles. They play heroes. And this is something that's been true for like every iteration of Liquid, that at least the recent ones. You know, where Boxy was playing offlane, and then he can swap to 4 position. Now, of course, he's playing the 4 position. They'll play Matu mid on Sniper, Lone Druid. They'll swap the supports lanes as well. So yeah, this team, the hardest part about them to beat is the fact that they're just hero experts and they can play any lane.
All right, and if we look towards their opponents today, Effie, we got Team Aster.
Yeah, so Team Aster for me are incredibly fun to watch because this brings me back a little bit to the ESL Malaysia LAN that recently happened, and Aster proved to a lot of the fans watching there that individual skill is important, but it's not the most important thing in Dota. Aster are a very team fight oriented team. They're always drafting in a way where they can come back from a gold deficit just by virtue of outfighting the enemy team. They play a really tight-knit formation on the map always, and the way that they distribute farm around the map is so intentional. Everything that they do, you feel they've discussed, they've calculated it, and they will always play for their specific timings, right? It doesn't matter if they don't have the items or the gold at certain times. They will hold their areas very well. They will not give up Roshans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Team Acer, they've always been in the shadow of LGD because LGD was always performing so well, and they showed that, you know, 3rd place at the Arlington Major and also 2nd at ESL 1 Malaysia. They came here to play.
They came here to play indeed, and guess what? We came here to watch some Dota too. And we're going to kick things off for game 1 with the draft. Let's go.
Team Liquid versus Team Aster. Game 1.
Greetings! Welcome to TI11. Sunsfan here with Cinderin. We got Stormer and Toby from Entity to help us out with this draft, because God knows, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, doing great. Hyped to be at a TI.
Alright, I'm here.
I don't know, TI vibes are really good, right?
Yes, can we hear the crowd? You guys here? What's going on? Oh, awesome.
Gila rame banget
So
cuy.
Aster versus Team Liquid. Lower bracket, Team Liquid comes in with a ton of momentum, but now there's been a bunch of days off. I don't know how that would affect them. What do you guys think?
Well, I got some background info. I know that Liquid was hella bored in some of those things.
Yeah.
Having a day off, but yeah, gonna be exciting. They had like insane momentum from the lower bracket, obviously. Had to come back from this 0-2 now against Aster. It's gonna be wild.
I think a lot of the time when you have this long of a break, it's about not getting into your own head,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Because you run this
game
mock
aja
draft
ya.
like 100 times.
Kita langsung masuk ke game aja.
Team Aster's Team Liquid. Crystal Maiden.
Lebih enaknya sih itu ya, lebih enak tuh ada itunya sih. Gue nggak ada
Just
tiket
gets to like
buat
20
itu.
minutes, gets a BKB, and one shot your carry.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I like when my 4 does that.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, in the upper bracket when these two faced, Aster had Lesh every game, both games, and they 2-0'd. Very, very powerful and popular hero these days.
Yeah, Lash is crazy.
Gue sambil ngurus RLK dulu ya.
To enable the Lash. So, I mean, very standard though. Like the maiden, I think maiden Lash track is just pop up at this TI. Maiden is an insanely strong hero, and Lash is probably the most contested mid lane hero right now. One of the most. 8 Brood Mother is pretty interesting. What do you think about it, Toby?
I'm the biggest Brood Mother fan. I would have picked it. I'm not sure what Sai's gonna do with it.
So I think we've seen in multiple series now Crystal Maiden as a direct response to Marcy. Obviously a good lane counter because you have a slow and a root as a support. Is there anything extra about this that makes Crystal Maiden a good response to Marcy? Is it just that the other 5s can't really handle her, or is it really that simple?
I think the CM was more preparation for the 8-pick that was coming out, especially the Brood. And I've seen Sven and Lich against Marcy give armor. Yeah.
I think Maiden's just, in any case, probably a pick that you just would love to have in the draft from the beginning on. Just a strong laner and, I don't know, just rounds up a lot of holes already before the draft. Second stage bans are pretty interesting too. Mars and Naga against Aster.
Turn to ban.
I mean, just high contested heroes as well. I think Naga is a Brood counter as well, right? But many carries love to lane against the Brood Mother, so that's why they get it out. Aster meanwhile banning the lone druid. I mean, there's Matumba man. There's one guy on Liquid. He's probably the best lone druid out there playing this hero, so no surprise with banning it. And the 1 HP hero is getting banned out as well, the Fangolier.
Do you hit some crazy timing with Lone Druid Brood when you get the Lone Shard? Is that what they're considering, or is it just like in general a worrying timing that you're facing? Is it just like extra strong, or just a targeted player ban?
I think what's scary about Liquid is that if they pick this Lone, they can flex it onto lanes. They might play carry on mid, because Mick is also very comfortable playing the carry role. So banning Lone Druid against whoa, super crazy. Banning Lone Druid against Liquid is just a safe shot in many cases if you're not sure what to ban.
I was going to ask, what is left in the pool that's good against Brood? Because we've seen a couple of Brood games where they pick it relatively early and it's been punished. Spirit Breaker is obviously very good. There's Kunkka. Anything else come to mind for you guys?
They still need a carry hero that can lane against Brood.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you see this Brood Mother. The thing is, nowadays I think Brood is almost always on the off lane. You don't really see it mid. So, the thing is, like, obviously there's only a limited amount of heroes you can pick into this, right? You cannot pick any carry. So, I guess it's to assume that they're gonna pick it on 18.
Knowing Mane, he plays both Monkey King and Gyro, who I think both fare pretty well against Brood, right? They have a way of dealing with the Spiderlings once you get the Flak Cannon up when Brood gets level 6. Is there anything else you're looking like? You're assuming this is a Marcy Brood lane, right? And you have the Crystal Maiden covering you. I guess most carries can kind of float this lane until Brood is 6 and then it gets super scary, or am I underestimating Crystal Maiden's impact on this lane right now? Are there some carries that just can't play this lane at all?
I can see a patch coming for either team.
Team Liquid's
Hell yeah.
turn to pick. Team Aster's turn to pick. Lina.
Lich Lina. Wow. Okay, that's surprising. I didn't see that one coming. Double spell.
Pemartinya.
They're just heading into the Mika Lina. I think Mika loves this matchup against the Lashrak. It's one of the favorite ones that they actually like win like 60-40 or a bit much, more even. And yeah, Sniper. As
Hari ini kita matiin aja kameranya ya.
Whoa.
One of the only heroes that outranges Lina. If she's played as a core in mid, which is almost always the case.
Technically.
Yeah, that is the other one, which nobody plays. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
10 seconds.
I can see mid sniper. And Lash carry. Lash carry very good against.
5 seconds
Do
remaining.
they flex it ever? Does Monet play Lashrak though?
I don't think so. I think Aster's read here is that, okay, this Brood we can handle in the beginning with our Maiden, and we obviously have the Spirit Breaker rotation possibilities, so we can get away with putting Sniper safe lane, and once Brood gets level 6, things might get dicey and they have to swap their lanes around, because Sniper cannot play this lane after Brood hits 6. It's actually interesting to see Sniper as a response here, because usually Brood was a massive counter pick to Sniper. I want to say half a year to a year ago when it was played mid more. Sometimes the last pick Brood would just ruin his game, so...
Yeah, like it's a double range against double melee offlane, right? Like main Sniper against Marcy Brood. How do you think that's gonna be like?
I think Brood can play this lane. I think it's a pretty good Brood lane. I hope it's less scary, to be honest.
Is
It's better.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Aster start at tri-lane for like a minute or two? Or that's what we've seen some teams do to try to shut down Brood in the beginning? You see Liquid banned out some of XXS's best laning heroes against Brood to prevent that they set a 1v1 and just play an aggro tri-lane, right? They banned out the Pango as well as the Mars, which XXS has been playing phenomenally this tournament. Are you kind of worried that a potential starting tri-lane from Aster is going to make Brood's game too difficult? Or are you happy as Brood that, okay, I'm getting shut down a little bit, but Matsu's going to get a free game?
No, Brood definitely needs a good start. So if they can give
Team
the
Aster's turn to bat.
XXS a lane where he can play 1v2, it's possible, but it's hard into Lich, I guess.
So regardless of the position for Lesh, Team Aster looking for off lane, I assume, and Liquid position 1.
Yeah, except if XXS plays Subara. I'm not sure if he can play Spellbreaker.
Okay,
but
that is not out of the question, but I do
it's a
think it's
possibility.
possible of playing that.
A thing I see on Liquid right now, what I would love them to like adjust in the draft a bit, is that they have no clear way of initiating at a certain point in the game. They have Marcy, Lina, and let's say post 20 minutes or something, it's not the easiest to engage fights. And Lina and Lich, they want heroes to go in for them. So there's still a Matsu pick coming up. I would love to see Liquid pick up a hero that like goes in first. I'm not sure what would fit that, because he also has to worry about the last pick XXS. Still got some time left though.
You also would imagine that it would be nice to have the carry use Frost Shield, right? You're picking this Lich early against essentially nothing that Frost Shield counters in terms of defense, right? So at the time when they picked Lich, they saw CM Lesh Spirit Breaker who have like basically 0 physical damage. So now that picked it in this manner, you would imagine Liquid have some sort of an aggressive plan. Like you said, carry goes in first, pop Frost Shield on him for the control. Or you put it on Marcy, but that doesn't really feel like that's maybe the most valuable. Bloodseeker is going to be the choice.
That's interesting. I don't mind it. I'm not sure how this look on Sniper. What do you think, Toby? I think it's really good against the Lesh and Bara, obviously.
Yeah, it's good against Lesh. I think they have sniper problems.
Yeah, there are also sniper problems though, yeah, that's true. But I like the idea, like it goes in for the rest of the team. Rupture is a very old school counter. Bloodseeker is not so popular in this TI, but yeah, it basically fits the gap of like frontlining and sort of lockdown. It's not a stun, but it does like 50%.
So if you're, let's say you're entertaining the idea of running standard lanes with 2-1-2, what kind of an offlaner do you pick with Spirit Breaker against Lich BS? It's a pretty strong lane, right?
Some melee hero.
Not a range, not like Viper or something then?
I think it's too hard.
So XXS would have probably liked to play any of the like 4 last games of Liquid. They have made up their minds, so it's going to be another melee hero.
Kalau dari tim Aster nih mau main lama ini.
That's interesting.
What do you make of this?
I'm not sure. So, I mean, both drafts are very interesting. Like, it's actually tough to The mid matchup is going to go pretty well for Liquid. They got the Lina against Leshrac matchup. He is playing against Subara, which has always been a bit annoying for her to deal with because he gets on top of you. I'm not sure what the bottom lane is going to go like. This entire Blood.
Underlord, aduh gila sniper loh. Ini antara meta atau emang sengaja ya dari tim Liquidnya, gue nggak ngerti nih. Oke, match pertama dari tim Aster versus tim Liquid ya.
不要凶嘛，不要凶嘛，我不是故意的。
Enak banget suaranya anjir.
Prepare for battle.
Ntar gue sambil
我正补，我反补，我正补，我又反补啦！我正补，我反补，我正补，我又反补啦！
30 seconds to battle.
Ada thank you yang baru datang.
"不要凶嘛，我不是故意的。"
每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。
Gua mau buka Eroka di sini dulu, gua ubah dulu. Biar Bang Argie-nya nggak bisa apa.
每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。
我正补，我反补，我正补，我又反补啦！
Target practice paying off.
每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。每一把都当最后一把，然后就也不要怕输。
我正补，我反补，我正补，我又反补啦
3, 2, 1. Adios.
不要凶嘛，我不是故意的。
Капец вы crazy, парни. Ну ладно.
2, 1. Adios.
3、2、1。
哎，队友呢？队友嘞？哎，队友呢？队友呢？队友呢
？3、2、1。
我正补，我反补，我正补，我又反补啦
3, 2, 1. Adios.
Taruh sini aja ya. Enak tuh, biarin aja gini ya. Loh, lower dulu yang main. Iya bang, by the way bang Raspalaka. Welcome. Lower bracket dulu yang main. Oke, first blood snipernya. Gila, Jo. Waduh, CM itu guru moy. Marci damage-nya gila, coy. Oke, underload-nya terlalu alot, coy. Underload-nya terlalu alot buat awal-awal ya. Tapi buat di akhir juga alot ya. Soalnya dia ada skill 3 dan tergantung item apa yang bakal dia pakai ya.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Nah, snipernya turu lagi dapat. Oh enggak, turu harus turu, Cok. Nice. Bentar, ini suara gua ada nggak sih? Ini. Tes. Main Eropa bang, lagi pingin nonton Dota 2 dulu gua. Oke, aman ya. Kita lagi pengen main Dota 2 dulu ya. Pengen nontonin Dota 2 dulu. Ini video capture-nya kita taruh di agak atas dulu ya. Agak nggak enak sih. Bentar. Adalah nggak usah aja lah. Gak usah ada video capture. Skor sementara 3 sama ya.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sumpah ini buat di late game agak-agak berat loh ini. Buat di late game Liquid berat kalau sampai kalah di awal-awal.
It's not the heat, it's the humiliation. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
Gila
top tower,
di early
Radiant's
game
bottom
aja
tower has fallen.
Astar lebih mengungguli banget ya. Di bawah udah hancur, tapi di atas sudah hancur juga sih, enak snipernya. Jadi agak bisa farming area sini nih, area bagian sini. Cuman permasalahannya nih bisa nggak nih sniper nge-hold gameplaynya kayak gini. Nah ini ada leads, oke ada leads. Kita lihat networknya juga snipernya kere banget ya. Kita lihat linanya. Oke, linanya udah jadi FB ya. Dan Marsinya udah bikin Facebook. Karena dia support tapi burst damage juga, dia kayak monyet ya. Dan kita lihat di sini oke ada 4 orang, Brood Mother-nya. Hampir aja kelihatan cuy. Oke, ketahuan ada CM di situ. CM yang ngegedein skill 2. CM-nya oke dicas aja mah. Oke, diikat aja ada balatum. Oke, di ulti dan di ulti juga sama CM langsung tiwas Brood Mother-nya. Oke, langsung pulang pakai pintu Doraemon. Memang underlord hero bangke ya sekarang ya itu hero. Pintu kemana aja loh itu, ganggu banget. Oke, Linanya belum ada burst damage, ada snipernya di situ, tapi snipernya juga belum ada damage ya kita kayaknya. Oh iya benar, belum ada damage. Ada CF, tapi langsung ngejauh aja. Sayang banget harus mati sama Underlord-nya. Lisha juga harus mati. Di situ kita lihat Linanya double damage. Snipernya oke, di skill 1 aja langsung killing spree. Double kill dari Mikey. Waduh, sayang banget yang satunya lagi di kill sama Matumbaman ya.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Waduh, leadsnya cowok sumpah ini Baratumnya annoying banget ya. Spirit Breaker-nya nih annoying banget anjir. Oke, snipernya Madness ya. Dia mau langsung ngegas Dragonlance. Oke, ada ward di situ. Ada Dota cari makan di bawah cuy. Dia juga udah mau WP ya.
Dire are scanning. Radiant are scanning.
Oke, Spirit Breaker-nya. Oke, ketemu Marci tapi nggak ada lompatan buat Marci ya. Di menit 14 udah sama-sama kill 7 ya. Masih belum ketahuan ini siapa yang bakal mendominasi. Elektraknya cuy, instant death banget gila itu, ada Laguna. Di cancel brother. Aduh. Coba kita dengerin caster bahasa Inggrisnya.
Another strike. They didn't have Spirit Breaker ult, so missing that component, but also Liquid seemed like they just read that play like a book. You know, Mickey was in position immediately, getting that counterplay. Nicely done from them. They get those two. Mickey now rocking a BKB. Is very ready to fight. Liquid actually hitting a strong timing here, and this smoke could bear fruit.
Snipernya. Oh god.
Brought down a huge kill for Liquid, but
instant banget
has come to
cuy.
play with his ult. Gets off the Night Pit of Malice and Firestorm and Sania. Looks to be the sacrifice at the very least, but Mickey and Matu want to continue to fight potentially. They're going to try to focus onto the Crystal Maiden, and a nice stun from Boxy on the two heroes with Mickey's LSA to follow.
Gila itu. Bala banget loh si.
I mean, they got the big kill to start, and Aster still wanted to fight, and they get punished.
Yeah, just Lesh didn't get to play his hero there. Got chain stun completely.
Bala banget loh
Rebound into
ini
the
si
LSA.
siapa namanya Marcinya.
From Mickey, and they get that job done easily.
Dia damage-nya sakit banget
So
cuy.
really nice way to open this with Boxy getting the rebound. They kill the sniper before any assistance arrives. As XXS comes in and does kill off the Lich, it's a pretty small consolation prize. Nice fear here, by the way, from Insania, stopping that freezing
stun
field.
Coming up soon.
Yep.
Which absolutely destroyed.
Perfect.
My
Triple
God.
stun into double stun.
And that was the Bloodstone reveal as well on the Lesh, and it just gets destroyed. Not literally. Not a Kyle. But Baboka now in the bot lane. He's going for the Shadow Blade.
Regeneration.
Zai, again, he's just been chilling in the bot lane. He's close to finishing his pipe, and we talked about the amount of magic damage that Aster has. That is going to be a huge pickup for them.
It seems like the play call here from Liquid is just leave Zai alone. Let him do whatever he wants. He needs to get that item before he really offers teamfight impact. Curious to see what the idea is now. It's coming out. Are you going to see a bigger rotation? Are we looking at a bottom tier 2 tower? Are we looking at a potential rotation into killing a hero mid and then getting Roche? There's plenty of options for Liquid here with the game state they have set themselves up for. And I mean, essentially, if Zai doesn't have to join, why would he, right? He can also just keep farming down here and keep being a pestilence, forcing heroes to rotate down here and defend, putting pressure on the tower and just farming up, get toward his next item. Maybe an Axe could be on the menu. Extremely annoying item to play Spirit Breaker against the Brood Axe.
Gila, Brood Mother-nya.
So
Brood Mother-nya langsung bikin pipe loh.
Liquid want to keep up the aggression. Okay, now the BKB from Matu. 2 BKBs on the side of Liquid. And they are definitely ready to fight. This 2 tower, take a little bit of damage, but XXS, he's going to show himself with the Firestorm, but Liquid want to kind of reset here. One thing we didn't really talk about is the fact that 2 obviously face in the upper bracket, and we've seen it so many times. The upper bracket team that wins, that faces the team again in the lower bracket. The lower bracket team ends up learning more about that matchup overall, and they got to see Tundra beat Aster as well. Potentially that's what we're seeing here right now, but standing onto the high ground, he is so tanky at half HP, but it will be the sacrifice, as it looks like it's going to be a trade for the position 5s. They feel coming out, but it only delays the inevitable.
Oh, they ruptured Lash.
Yep, he gets his Bloodstone off just in time as Matu pops a BKB, but the Lash is dead. Laguna Blade into the grave, and Baboka getting chased, but a nice Pit of Malice, keeping Boxy and company in this area, but the Dispose comes out on Baboka, but he does have the status resistance, and gets the charge off. That right click is coming for him. Is that enough? It doesn't look like it. He shall live.
What an amazing escape from Baboka there, turning around to dodge the stun and then finding the charge through everyone to survive. I definitely had him expected dead there, but he gets out of there. Still, the big kill for Liquid is the Lesh. They keep finding him every fight. Zai, okay.
Yeah, he's here all alone. Insania on the outskirts, but the Assassinate is coming, and that's not going to help you there. Monet getting a nice pickup for himself as he struggling. He's middle of the pack in terms of net worth, and this is a hero that you do not want in that area. I mean, how much of a comeback mechanic do you have on this hero, would you feel? Based on the items that he's going for, because he has Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, he's going for Hurricane Pike, so it feels like more mobility / utility than damage.
I guess with this build, you definitely do farm slower than if you had, say, Mom Maelstrom, but you probably just have to get the Pike at this time. If you go Mask Maelstrom, it's gonna take too long before you have the essential items to be any sort of presence in a team fight. In skirmishes, this is also a pretty good single target damage build, right? You have a long range, obviously you can activate the take aim for the guaranteed headshots, which by the way are only level 2 on Monet currently, so his damage will ramp up significantly when he levels up to 13, 14.
Oke, ada underload di situ. BKB langsung keluar dari boxing, ada Letraf di situ juga, Sniper juga di situ. Langsung tiwas, boy.
Nice pickup for them. Very nice team play.
Gila, benar-benar backup-nya tuh mantep banget ya, cuy.
In the area, he's in Viz right now. Oh, the save does not connect, but they still get the stun. Laguna Blade to follow, but the Bloodstone healing up a decent amount. The BKB pop by Mickey, and that is enough to take out Ori again. He's left by his team via the Fiend's Gate, and Liquid taking full advantage.
Yeah, that missed stun from Mickey ends up costing him a BKB charge, but still well worth it. You're happy to get that kill. And probably the bottom tier 2 tower. I don't think you have a chance of defending this as Aster. Well, maybe they are gonna try actually. XXS. Oh, they know there's no BKB, so maybe.
Gets the charge off successfully inside the Pit of Malice. Mickey trying to help him out, but looks like the Chain Frost finally comes out. It's only gonna connect a couple times, but Mickey looks to be mega dead, and Zai and company have to get the hell out of here. Sani is successful, but Zai inside the Pit of Malice charged up. And it looks like he's going to be brought down as well. So Aster successfully defend a tier 2 tower.
It seems like Liquid had the same expectation that I did, that tower was just going to be given to them with a dead Lesh, but the crucial part in all of this is that Mickey with the missed stun ends up using the BKB on the first kill, and Aster like, wait a minute, can't we just go on this guy and kill him with Spirit Breaker and Underlord? And they could. There wasn't enough protection there. I don't think there was a defensive dispose from Boxy to try to reposition and keep him alive. And And that's huge for Aster.
Yeah, we have a rupture onto XXS, but the rest of his team is coming. A nice charge onto 2, but the Blood Right does connect. Silence that Space Cow. But Boxy just getting right click from afar. And Matu, despite having to beat KB, does have the move speed to get away. And
ini udah kalau kayak begini terus Liquid yang malah turun cuy. Skornya mulai ngebalap ya.
So much bigger for Aster, but they're very, very happy with this for sure. The game was starting to look a little bit scary for a while with the control Liquid were getting, but
yeah, and the first Roche attempt is here. As Aster know that they're in a 5v4 situation.
No BKB on Matumba either. Yeah. Bloodseeker is just not a very good hero in this time in the game when you don't have that BKB. It's so hard to run in and do anything. You can just get turned on and blasted. So as it looks, Liquid, I think they really want to try to poke at this, but it's just really difficult. They don't know the exact timing either. Every spider is getting killed outside the pit.
Yeah. Looks like Monet will get the Aegis. Not putting on the Lesh. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's good on both. A lot of the time we do see it on Lesh because you get so much value from getting the full mana refill when you die as well. But maybe the logic is Lesh is less susceptible to dying straight away. He has more health, he has the Bloodstone, whereas if Monet gets jumped, he can just die instantly. And this way you also maybe open up a little bit more for potential poking top tier 2 tower with just the sniper. Lesh needs to go closer and expose himself to do that. The sniper can just safely take it from range, and if you do try to jump on him with your Marcy combination with Lina, you know he has that second life.
Karena kurang damage sebenarnya.
Those cores have 4 deaths.
Kurang damage buat masuk ke snipernya ya. Sniper harus di take down bener-bener.
Brought this game back, Sinner, and network-wise very even. And obviously with the Aegis, going to help them potentially extend that just a bit. Tower is not being defended yet.
And I think it is worth keeping in mind for a game like this that a lot of the expectation of how the game goes kind of rides or dies with Brood, right? And Zai's impact, aside from, you know, pushing out this bottom lane being there, has not felt like Brood has been a first phase hero, right? Or arguably it has, because Aster solved it so well. A lot of Liquid's Brood game wins, they would be in a much, much better position than this now. And I think even just in an even game state like this in terms of gold, the Radiant lineup is having a pretty solid time scaling late game.
Bang Argie, match yang juga Bang Darwis.
Against this lineup.
Welcome.
Aster's lineup is just going to scale to the moon, right? Sniper, Underlord, Lesh, Tricore.
Oke, ada smoke dari Aster. Di sini juga si Lesraknya udah mau BKB ya.
Aster. They trying to go into the end triangle is the question. Warstaff picked up from Mickey, actually. So he's going the full Hurricane.
Sold it again. Yep. Oh. Mind for now. He's still... Oh, he's changing over to Silver Edge. Okay, so... I guess he wants the break for Atrophy Aura.
Wih, Licha oke banget coy dapat netral creep ini. Aduh, gila damage sniper udah mulai sakit si Monet. Damage Monet ya sudah mulai nyeri-nyeri sedap. Padahal belum baru Madness sama Hurricane Pike doang ya, tapi udah sakit coy.
I mean, how important is it for Aster to use the Aegis in an effective way, or are they fine just farming? Like you said, they do technically scale better.
Yeah, I think they're fine farming, but I wouldn't mind seeing them trying to use this Aegis for another tier 2 tower. Probably mid is the most accessible one for them right now, because I think Brood really thrives in the bottom tower area. There's so many trees, so many angles you can find there to be annoying for the support. But
he changed his mind again. He went hurt.
Oh, he changed again. All right, well. Maybe the gold lined up nicely. Liquid are not too phased by the Aegis though. They're still gonna look to cross the river and maybe make an aggressive move. They do have a double damage on Mickey, which would be really nice for them to put to use. Popoka will push out that wave and reposition himself. It looks like Aster are aware that Liquid have some big plan here. Ori also farming very defensively over on the ancient side, making sure to stay all the way left.
Tapi mereka lagi nyoba mancing musuhnya buat crossan ya, habis itu nyulik semua biar snipernya juga kelihatan ya.
And they get a good ward down in mid, so definitely looking for some sort of catch against the Aegis team at some point in the near future. It looks like they'll have to settle for Mickey just, you know, 10-shotting the top tier 1 tower casually with sidepick and double damage. Packing 400 damage with that per hit.
Not bad.
but now it's run out. And Aster will, they will opt for the bottom tower rather than the mid one. This was the one they had the option to access. I think they would have been happy to take mid, but that's where Liquid were grouped up and covering the lane. So they will settle for a trade the off lanes.
They will get it successfully. So 2K lead for Aster is the Aegis.
Okay.
It's expiring in 40 seconds.
They will knock on the high ground though. Sniper very good at this, obviously massive range. The only repositioning tool Liquid have is, aside from an offensive pike from Mickey, which is probably a bit naive to think is going to happen, you have level 2 dispose. So he's feeling pretty damn safe standing down here hitting this tower. You just keep throwing out one shrapnel if he wants to hit it some more. There we go. He's gonna keep poking at it.
Pop the mathematics.
Sending in Ori.
Is coming for Liquid. Ori up in front. He's going to get ruptured. Pops the BKB. That's not going to do too much for him. But
Radiant's middle tower
kept himself away far enough as the Aegis is expiring in 3 seconds. Trying to get through the Fiend's Gate. He does so successfully. And Aster retreat. Part. Couple members here.
Yep.
And Ori can just refill and, oh, okay, does not want to take the Fiend's Gate. He wants to farm on mid.
I'm surprised Ori went in an edict at that tower. I think letting Sniper just keep doing his thing was pretty good. It only cost him a BKB charge, which isn't the end of the world. And I guess he did force the glyph, so maybe it's okay. But if Liquid find a move off it, the story will be very, very different. Ori is going to walk straight into Matu.
Laguna Blade, but no LSA connection, but they still find the Crystal Maiden nonetheless. The right clicks are way too much. BKB already popped by Matu as they find the kill onto Ori. So 3 dead overall, the complete segregation of that fight, but Liquid coming out way on top.
Yeah, so what ends up happening there is Lesh has BKB cooldown from bottom, and he's walking in the mid lane together with Spirit Breaker. I think a pretty crucial mistake here from Aster, actually. The 2 heroes were even stacking up, so they got chain stunned and didn't get a charge off to try to protect Ori. He just walked straight into Matu, got ruptured and killed, and or actually didn't even rupture, I think. They just hit him and couldn't get away anyway without the BKB. And Liquid will now play mid
up to tier 2 mid.
That is a huge swing for Liquid.
Won't know for the next Roche for another minute 40, but that is going to be an extremely important factor in this game, as it usually is. But looking at Ori's item progression, obviously they've had the Bloodstone for a long time. BKB is on 8 seconds. He's only used it once, surprisingly. Yep. Has a casual plate mail, and I would assume an eventual Shiva's, but still going for... I mean, his farm for a Lesh is not very good this game.
No, I think he's had a couple of times maybe pushing one wave too many, and Liquid have done a really good job punishing him overall. The 5 deaths on the Lesh is a major setback. You compare that to Mickey on the Lina with only 2. Has a 50 CS advantage because of this. The thing I wonder here for Ori is if Travels is actually the right choice, because you're obviously playing against Rupture, right? So having extra mobility in the fight isn't necessarily going to translate to more safety or more damage. Whereas having items where you can just stand your ground and survive longer, like you said, the Shiva or something to that effect could be an interesting choice. But maybe even Ags could be a thing this game. You're against Brood, Bloodseeker, and an attack damage Lina build.
Nihilism.
I think Nihilism could be interesting, but well, for now it is going to be the Travels. And obviously it depends whether the flow of the game will turn into a little bit more of a stalemate where the teams are just pushing out waves and farming, because then Travels are obviously great. But if we have a key fight coming up sometime soon, this might not be the best allocation of net worth that Ori can have at this point in time. Getting those Travels up. Roche will be known to us now. It's a long respawn.
Yes.
Oh gila, Linanya mau Daedalus coy. Oke, Marcia mau bling Dagger.
Aster potentially get their hands on that, and I do say Aster because they are controlling the area for now. They did get the first one. There's no saying that Liquid can't make a team move in there and contest it.
Yeah, Matu has his Mjolnir now. Zai has the Wraith Pact.
Udah jadi maestro, aduh jadi Mjolnir ya.
It is very good, this Ags. When you're playing a Brood role where you don't have to deal very much damage, this Ags is just incredible for map control.
Woke up, but they see Boxy. They're going to start charging him next to Liquid's Outpost technically in control of Aster right now. The charge is there, but the Frost is going to keep him healthy for the time being. Ori, though, and Baboka end up taking him out with the help of Monet. Just like that, it's a 5v4, but BKB already popped by XXS as they find Zai in the trees, but the charge onto Matu. See who they try to focus here. Firestorm doing a lot of percentage-based damage. Lich ult coming out, but it's only going to bounce once as Zai just gets cleaned up. Double kill for Monet as the Bean Gates back
Kayaknya
to the fountain.
game pertama ini Aster bakal win sih. Kalau gameplaynya kayak gini ya. Snipernya udah sakit banget anjir.
Looking very good now, but like you said, Roche is not going to be up for another minute, so they can't take advantage of that.
Definitely consider themselves lucky that this isn't up, because this would have been an easy collateral for Aster, or it would have forced 2 buybacks out of Liquid. But yeah, just a very different fight in terms of positioning here, right? So you get the charge onto the Marcy, so she doesn't get to play the fight at all. Ori gets ruptured, they get this Marcy kill, they run back, and then they zone control. Underlord is creating tons of space by just running in with a Pit of Malice and just frontlining. Sniper is keeping them at bay with shrapnels. There's the Crystal Maiden ult coming up. It's just too difficult for Liquid to re-engage here. And a nicely played fight here from Aster will secure themselves a good position in the game once again. And the control of the pit, 30-second respawn on that. Both teams will want to get access to this. This is the second Roche, so will come with a little bit of a bonus.
Oke, Underlord-nya. Dia mau kuiras tapi masih jauh banget ya. Untuk Brood Mother-nya. Oh, dia udah mau Aghanim ya. Bakal rusuh banget nih jaring-jaring Dajjal ya.
You know, you're feeling a lot safer against the.
Ini sih yang bala ya. Snipernya bala banget sumpah, nggak bohong gua.
Well, the Rupture's on his team.
Oh, I was looking at the Lesh. He's also going Lincolns.
Oh, yeah, that one makes sense. I'm trying to figure out this.
Oh,
everybody gets a Lincolns.
The charge is very
Linanya udah
annoying.
deadless ya.
That's true.
And I mean, the only way to take full advantage of that, if you're the Spirit Breakers, to get
Oke, dia mau Lincoln. Oke, ada smoke 5 orang langsung dari Liquid dan
Aster.
As we have a smoke now from Liquid.
Aster poked the Roche and went out. They feel like Liquid are going to come contest this, and they're very right. The top lane is all the way in the tier 3 tower, and no one from Liquid's defending. This is a dead giveaway that Liquid are up to something here. And Aster will do the same. Baboka is terrifying with that Shadow Blade that he's had for a while. If they get vision on anyone, they could just get stunned out of nowhere on Liquid's side with very minimal defense, except like we talked about the Frost Shield, but doesn't really save you from this Radiant lineup very well.
Yep, Ori used his Bloodstone thinking that he was going to get jumped, so another 15-second cooldown on that.
Success. Will find the ward.
Very tense as both teams know that Roche is up.
The Gem knows that Liquid have vision here. Obviously not going to go for the D-ward. Way too risky. He could get jumped by Marcy and just blasted there, so... Gets the information, gets back. They have Baboka clean up mid with the charge. Next wave will now be cut by Baboka as well. Gonna clean this up out of the Shadow Blade, just killing all of those spiders in one charge.
Yeah, ever since they changed
feel really good.
His bash to do that much damage to creep.
Yeah.
Even better counter.
I think this is the most CS I've seen a Spirit Breaker have minute 34 since Xiaowei played it mid. That's what spiders will do for you.
That is true. I mean, he's halfway to his Ags, and that thing is crazy.
Yep.
Still posturing on the other side of the map. No one quite ready to fight.
Tapi Linanya belum oh ada BKB. Lincoln buat
There's a very good chance that it leads to
biar nggak bisa dicas sama di itu ya, di ulti sama Baratum ya.
As look how close this game was.
Karena emang kalau udah dicas sama di ulti Baratum
68% for Aster. Would you feel that? Watching this right now, the Rupture?
Oke, let's rakyat. Dung. BKB percuma karena udah kena ruptur. Oke, ada buyback dari Lich ya.
And Liquid trying to reset. Now the box is on relatively low HP. Dispose onto Matu with the rebound movement speed buff as well. They're able to reset completely.
Now the buyback from Insania, a 5v4 situation effectively here. Lesh has buyback too, but no BKB ready, so if he connects, he has to be careful. The trade-off here, of course, Liquid using 2 of theirs, Marcy and Bloodseeker with a minute cooldown, and Aster are actually confident that this is enough for them to contest the pit. They know they can buy back their Lesh. What can he travel on? They have the outpost too, so the connection point is there.
Monet double damage as well. McKay inside of hit and Malice gets forced out to safety, but they're gonna find a space cow first.
Gila, damage-nya sakit banget, ya Allah.
Bouncing as XXS still has the BKB activated. Siamese Cat looks to be next on the list, but double buybacks now from Aster, and they can reconnect relatively quickly. Especially wants to put a Fiend's Gate there. Still 5v5, but that is several buybacks from Aster. But like you said, the BKB is very important for Liquid. A charge on the McKay, but the Frost Shield is going to make a lot of sense.
Aduh, gila sayang banget damage sniper sakit cuy.
Trying to get the dieback onto Ori. He's at half HP, but the Bloodstone healing up to a high degree, but it's not going to be enough. Ori diebacks and Monet stuck in someone. He's just stuck there, trying to right-click his way out of this. Getting some lifesteal now, but Zai is going to be able to take him out in the end. It's going to be close. Monet is still lifestealing, despite just standing still for the last 30 seconds. Matu has already died, and now Baboka trying to chase the Lich, but there's a rebound. Thinking gets instantly stunned, dispose back, then kill Monet. Finally, he buys back into the game, though, and now the Unleashed going to town on XXX has bought back himself as well. Looks like Broodmother is next here, though, and now this has turned into a 3 versus 2, technically in favor of Aster, but Baboka dies. That's another dieback for him. Boxy TPing away.
Gila, perang buyback, cowok.
6K lead for Liquid. What the hell was that?
Perang buyback, anjir.
Completely insane. If Aster do end up claiming this, I guess they're somewhat okay with what they had to throw for that. They spent, how many buybacks was that? I kind of lost the overview. So,
I mean, this isn't even accurate.
4 buybacks, I believe, from Aster used in this situation. Obviously, they had to buy back Ori in the beginning. So again, Ori really not progressing
Liquid.
too much.
They want to go. They have the rebound available. Roche is relatively low. The Frost Shield is there, but a nice pit of Malice. Gonna root that. But Boxy gets to that pit. He gets to dispose of. Who gets the Roche is the question. Nobody wants to kill it. And finally, Monet, he snatches the Aegis. So technically, Liquid get the kill. Not sure who got the shard on top of that, but either way, Aster is happy with this exchange. Looks like Boxy, did he actually take the shard?
Boxy grabbed it, and in a fit of panic, he used it instantly. I don't think.
Oh no!
I don't think that's the best shard they could have used there. Maybe. What are the other options? Brood or Lina? Yeah, maybe it's actually the best one.
Might be fine. Actually.
Now they have a save that they haven't had before. They can obviously rebound the target away.
All right. Okay, not able to hit the LSA there, but.
I mean, honestly, the craziest thing about the team fight that we just saw was how long Monet stayed alive, right? And it's because he's getting Crimson guarded by the Underlord, so the spiders do 0 damage. Zai has a 0 damage item build, so he's basically tickling him. And Monet was just using Mask of Madness, standing still and pressing A-click on the ground.
I've never seen a sniper stand still for that amount of time. As we have some more action, it looks like potentially Rupture. But Zai is kind of stuck. He's going to get charged at it. XXX is taking the brunt of the damage from Matu. He's going to get bashed up, but we'll be able to get the Fiend's Gate out in time. As Liquid just don't have the damage right now, but Zai, he gets charged in on, into the Nether Strike and into the right clicks of Monet. And now with the assault onto XXS, it's just going to add insult to injury, and this push will be even faster for Aster. No pun, I mean, that was a rhyme. Intended. Tier 2 tower looks to be done. How much more can they get? Still 3.5 minutes on the Aegis.
50 seconds on Brood as well.
Yep.
And Zaya does not have buyback gold. They do not know this for a fact, but they might have a feeling based on the Aghanim Scepter being purchased that he cannot reconnect to this fight. Still, you have to be a little bit careful about this high ground push. Marcy is very terrifying on defense, and as we've already established, Boxy with the dagger doesn't even need to rebound in. He can blink in and dispose and rebound out to maybe force a BKB. He can obviously also rebound in and dispose and then blink out if he's fast enough. If he takes any damage, that is not happening.
He can rebound his teammates.
He could also do that. He could rebound Mickey in and lose the game. That is another option he has.
We have seen it during the DPC. We have seen the Marcy Shard win games and lose games.
Yeah. Insania counting the buybacks there.
Yep.
Wonder if he counted all of them and wrote down all the times. That would be very impressive. That would be inhuman, as a matter of fact.
Indeed. Nice to have a human calculator on your team, as I'm sure you can attest to.
Yep, I have that every game.
Minutes still on the Aegis for Aster, but Liquid, in terms of net worth, have the very slight lead right now. an incredibly close game. DD is
Oh
bottled for
gila,
Monet,
dia
and
udah
I'm
mau
sure
satanik ya.
that they're going to want to use it here to at least get a tier 3, if not.
Tapi yakin
try to get a
satanik.
barracks.
Oh satanik diganda sama Falcon Back. Karena Lina nih minusnya adalah dia harus banyak target ya. Semakin banyak target, skillnya nggak habis. Tapi kalau targetnya melempem,
the spinner snares are starting to make life difficult for Aster. Very annoying.
Techies was deleted, but
I actually think
lives on in Brood.
I was saying this is kind of the new old Techies. Spinner snare. It is incredibly annoying to play against. Don't underestimate how much the mental means, but well, no snares bottom just yet. Monet pops the DD. Will force out the glyph. They will get another glyph after this tower falls, mind you, with the changes. So Liquid do have another round of defense for the barracks.
Tier 3 is finally down.
Yeah, Monet's attack speed is nothing to scoff at. He's got a lot of attack speed items. They have the AC on the Underlord, Mask of Madness activation. Yeah, it's looking pretty good for Aster. This is a big moment now. Liquid will try to find perhaps an angle. Pushing out mid for now. Do they even have any smokes left? They do not. Yeah, they do. They have one on boxing. So if Liquid do want to challenge something here, they can, but it's a very, very difficult position to access yourself into. Yeah, you keep scouting them with Spinner Snare, though. Oh, Monet, will we flip another one? No, XXS, however. They'll find another Spinner Snare. Sure, he's having a great time there.
They're smoked up, but he knows, right? It notifies them.
Yep. This is not happening.
That is actually hilarious, man. I think it's my first game casting Brewdags.
It's one of those things that's hilarious to watch, and then you're imagining being a player on Aster.
Oh, of course. Of course.
That's
but that's Dota, right?
It is very annoying, let me tell you. All right, Liquid. It's time. This age is expiring just now. Aster will place XXS to cover the high ground. Boxing just goes in.
They know they get the bash up, and Monet is right clicking from afar. Mickey pops the BKB, gets the Laguna Blade, and now they jump on top of Monet and kill him immediately. No buyback for him. And Baboka now stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's a second. Make it 3 for Mickey. What a fight. What an initiation with no vision, I'm pretty sure. Not able to get the rebound. Boxy has been playing out of his mind. Now down the mid lane, Liquid goes with a 7K lead, knowing that a lot of these buybacks will not be available. Only the Underlord at the moment.
And you just love the confidence from Boxy, right? The smoke breaks, he instantly just blinks up blindly and pops his ult and BKB. Finds a target, the fight breaks out. And Monet tries to come in and help, but they just destroyed him with Marcelina. He didn't even get to play the fight. Probably felt relatively confident with Butterfly that he had something to stand his ground with, but just not the case. Liquid, are they actually just going to go for it?
They're going to try to go for drone. They know that Sniper's not back for 60 seconds. Tier 4 is already at half HP. They're going to be able to take it out pretty swiftly. Can Aster actually defend this in a 3v5 situation? Finally, the fortification is popped. They won't have one for the rest of the game in all likelihood if they continue down this mid lane. Unleashes pop for Boxy, just priming and ready to go. One tier 4 down. Will Liquid continue on here? 33 seconds on Monet. Crimson Guard to try to mitigate a little bit of damage here, but there's the initiation on XXS. They get the Rupture on and they force step him as well, but he's going to live inside the fountain. But the tier 4 goes down as well. And now on to the Ancient BKB and Bloodstone, but the focus is now onto the Ancient for Liquid. All they have to do is right click, then they'll get game 1. Charging from Boca, pretty big, but make it continue to right click with the data. That's going to be enough. Liquid takes game 1. Unbelievable. I don't know how this team continues to give everybody heart attacks around the world, but I'm close to that right now, Cinderin.
Gokil.
What an amazing
way
for
gue
them to
izin
do
pamit
that.
dulu ya, gue nggak bisa lanjutin matchnya. Thank you banget buat yang udah mampir, dan sorry satu orang. Bang Ras